Go. Leave it. I want to make sure you shit. I want to see it with my own eyes.
Why do you hate me?
Because you're ugly.
Welcome to The Dollhouse, released in 1995, about a teenage girl named Dawn Wiener, who is in middle school and struggles every day with bullies at school and the negligence and lack of love from her own family. One thing you have to know about this movie is that it does not hold back whatsoever. When it comes to the bullying, the nihilism, the depression, it really goes all the way. And that is why I have to stick by it, that this is probably the cruelest movie when it comes to adolescence, but yet it is the most realistic, which is why it is necessary to see. I mean, in the beginning of the movie, right off the bat, she's already being harassed by her classmates. And the language is extremely vulgar, and it just reminds you just how cruel kids can be. But yet it's so common, which just makes it more heartbreaking.
Sorry to bother you, but we were just wondering, are you a lesbian? Well, are you?
No. Liar. She made a pass at me.
Dawn is the #1 target at that school, by far. It does her absolutely no good. Her being nice, being level-headed, and trying to show respect despite the fact that she receives none. I mean, just look at this scene right here, where she's literally going to try to defend a kid who's also suffering from bullying. And instead of being grateful, he's an asshole towards her too.
You alright, Troy?
Leave me alone, wiener dog.
As you can tell, Dawn is in a place where she receives no support whatsoever. And unfortunately, it's really not any different at her house. She is by far the least important of the 3 kids, a clear case of second child syndrome. Her older brother Matt always has the parents' attention because how smart he is and how much potential he may have with going to a nice college. But the one person that she hates above all else, more than all the bullies, more than her terrible parents, than everybody who treats her bad, it is her younger sister Missy, because she is everything that Dawn would want to be. The center of attention, the pretty sweet child, everything that she wants, Missy has, and that's why she hates her more than anything. Now when it comes to the quality of this movie, I absolutely love it. The acting is excellent. The story is well told and heartbreaking altogether. The story of a girl who's depressed, who hates the way she looks, the person that she is, who hates the people she goes to school with, the family that resents her. It is all packaged together into a hidden gem that has unfortunately gone under the radar, and that's why I'm making this video, to expose it out to anybody that wants to see it. Now watching Dawn's depressing life, there are 2 important characters that come into play here. The first one is a guy named Brandon, who is the biggest bully in the school. He is a very sick person, who loves inflicting pain on others, has some of the most vulgar vocabulary, and shows no respect to anybody whatsoever. He is basically Kyle before Xbox Live and Monster Energy drinks existed. However, he has this very bizarre and very disgusting obsession over Dawn, and I mean that sexually. He's constantly talking about how he's gonna rape her, and always showing signs of affection towards her. And because she constantly feels rejection, she is easily manipulated into this, which is pretty sad to watch. Now the next important character, in my opinion, does the most impact in shifting the story, is this guy named Steve Rogers, who is the most popular guy in Mark's school, and also joins his band in return that Mark's will help him pass all of his classes. When Dawn lays eyes on this guy, she falls in love instantly. And yeah, he's apparently supposed to be in high school. I mean, he looks like Channing Tatum from 21 Jump Street. Not very convincing. Nonetheless, Dawn is completely obsessed with the guy. Every time he's over at the house, she's literally immediately running to him, trying to constantly ask him questions, spends so long staring at him, and never gives him any type of breathing space. And it's not even as if he's a nice guy. He's very ignorant of her, and he's clearly a douchebag. He's very cocky and thinks he's better than everybody else. But because he's this older, more masculine guy, she doesn't really seem to care, and unfortunately falls for that superficiality.
Everyone should have.
Louder.
That way you will never grey grub. Grey grubbing is bad.
I said louder.
Because
Oh my god, that brings back so many bad memories. As we progress into the film, we see that Dawn's school life is a lot darker than we first thought. Because apparently it's not just the students that are a problem to her, it's also the faculty. Her teacher is pretty much a bitch. That's the nicest way I can put it. Because any time that Dawn asks for help, she seems completely annoyed by her and punish her additionally to the other bullies. How is that freaking fair? It's such bullshit. And the principal is even worse, because he knows that there's something going on with how the other students treat her, but he doesn't care at all. In fact, he even threatens her that if she doesn't put her stuff together, I guess, that it can go down into her college transcript. Come on, like seriously, he's gonna threaten her that if she doesn't stop complaining that it's gonna affect her life in the future? Now, does Dawn have a single friend throughout all this? Well, the answer is yes, but the thing is, he's a lot younger than Dawn is and they don't go to the same school. So unfortunately, he can't really understand what it is that she's going through, and he really can't be there for her when she needs a friend the most. But nonetheless, he is a good friend, because whenever they are together outside of school and they encounter bullies, he does stand up for her. He doesn't just take the easy way, go with the crowd and go against her. He actually stands up, and he isn't afraid of the bullies.
You think you're so cool. You think you're hot shit, but you're really just cold diarrhea.
Damn is right. He told your ass off good. Now, despite the continuously depressing story going on here, we get the idea that things might be getting better for Dawn, when Brandon finally admits to her that he actually has feelings, and he goes pretty soft. But unfortunately, he has to continuously play this tough guy image because he's afraid of what people might think if they found out that he likes her. So unfortunately, they have to keep it all a secret. Now, while it might be nice seeing Brandon going through a bit of a change here, Dawn's heart unfortunately still belongs to Steve. Her feelings only grow stronger and stronger for him, and the obsession only gets bigger. So it's pretty obvious that it's going to be Steve that Dawn is going to be making an effort to pursue after. Okay, really random, but this scene right here is my favorite. It is absolutely hilarious. Let's watch this all uncut. Alrighty guys, back on a serious note, Dawn's chances of happiness, they get shut down very abruptly, because the next time that she's alone with Brandon, she ends up giving him the bad news that she can't be his girlfriend anymore because it's Steve that she loves. And I mean, she's very polite about it. She's in no way mean, no way condescending, but the thing is, Brandon isn't mature enough to handle that rejection very well. And unfortunately, the connection is completely broken off, which completely devastates Dawn. Now, with Brandon and Dawn pretty much being done with, it is now her golden opportunity to go to Steve and tell her how she really feels, that she's completely in love with him and she is willing to give herself completely to him. Now, it's Dawn's brilliant idea to do this whole confession during her parents' 20th anniversary celebration. During the celebration, Mark's band, where Steve will be included, is going to be performing throughout their entire party, where of course Missy is the center of attention, and Dawn, as always, is going to be cast in the shadow where nobody is noticing her. Now, while Dawn continues to be invisible and her arch rival Missy continues to get all the love and attention, Dawn is just simply waiting for the band to stop performing, as in that way she'll be able to have Steve all to herself, be able to confess her love for him, and hoping that he'll feel the same way for her.
Open up!
Hey Dawn, what's up?
I have to talk to you.
What about?
I was wondering if... Well, I've been thinking seriously of building another clubhouse. Well, I wanted to know, would you be interested in being my first honorary member?
What are you talking about?
The Special People Club.
Special people?
What's the matter?
Do you know what special people means?
What?
Special people equals retarded. Your club is for retards.
God, that scene is just so hard for me to watch. Dawn just cannot catch a single break in this film. Alright guys, remember how I said that Dawn hates Missy more than anything on earth? Well, I wasn't kidding, since now that Dawn has pretty much lost everything that she's wanted, she has now gone very attack mode on Missy, and let me tell you, it seems like her hatred is just getting more and more dangerous and more toxic. Dawn's hatred for Missy goes so far that she legit does not tell a family friend that she needs to pick up Missy from ballet practice, hoping to leave her stranded there while the parents are gone on an emergency. Now Dawn was just hoping to inconvenience everybody, and I'm pretty sure she was willing to take any punishment that came with it. But little did she know that Missy would actually not come back. In fact, they would suspect that she was kidnapped, and you can just tell by Dawn's face, she's like, holy hell, what did I just do? I think it's also funny how nobody managed to connect this back to Dawn, that she in no way has any responsibility towards it. So I mean, she should feel pretty lucky. Now driven by guilt, Dawn sets herself out to go find Missy herself. They get information that they found her tutu in New York, so she decides to pack up and travel over there, which isn't a terrible way because she lives in New Jersey. Now Dawn, no joke, puts her everything in trying to find Missy. She posts flyers everywhere, goes person to person asking if they've seen Missy. She literally stays out in the dangerous streets day and night, hoping that she could find her. But when all hope seemed lost, when she felt that everything was for nothing, she ends up actually finding Missy, being held by this creep. She goes and saves her life, and now it's Dawn's golden opportunity to finally be cherished by her family, to come back home as a hero, and everything can be happily ever after, right guys?
You're the best daughter a mother could have. I love you so much.
I love you, Dawn.
Me too. I love you.
Oh, Dawn. I love you. Dawn, I love you.
And you know I've always loved you.
Oh, not a chance in hell. Remember guys, I said this is a cruel and realistic film. There is no happy ending here. Now while Dawn was out and about in New York, it turns out that while she was over there, Missy had returned home. Apparently she did get kidnapped by a family friend. Who would have thought? But what's even more unbelievable, and that's total sarcasm when I say it, is that the parents didn't even notice that Dawn had been gone. They were too busy giving all their attention to Missy that they literally forgot that one of their other children was missing as well. And it just feels like you're back to square one with all the problems that goes on with Dawn's life. And what emulates that is this completely fucked up scene. Dawn is literally giving thanks to everybody at school for showing support to the family while Missy was gone. And the entire school literally does this to her. And after this very sad scene, this is pretty much where the film concludes itself. Pretty much the only complaint that I ever hear about this film is how they don't like the ending. It's a very boring or bland way to end a tragic film with a simple bus ride to Disneyland with the choir group. But in my opinion, it's actually appropriate. Because seemingly she has accepted her fate and this is how the way it's meant to be for her. It's tragic, but in reality it's realistic. She has no support from anybody. Nobody understands her or feels any sympathy for her. So how else is it supposed to be? If anything, it shows us the harsh reality. So, I pretty much like the way it ends. Anyways guys, that concludes my critique of this film. In my opinion, a phenomenal film, and I cannot recommend it enough to you guys. Of course, I probably wouldn't really recommend it to kids despite the fact that it's dominantly casted by them. I'd like to hear your guys' opinion in the comment section how you felt of this review, and I'm of course going to provide a link in the description of where you can find it if you want to give it a watch. If you guys don't mind hitting that like button, it helps me out a lot. I'd really appreciate it. So take care, take it easy, and I'll see you guys next time.